Hey guys, welcome to Luminess. Wake Up and Airbrush. It's Wednesday, and so we are going to be doing Wake Up and Airbrush today, talking about all of the things. So it's been a little bit since we've been on. Hurricane Barrel came through and just has knocked out internet, has knocked out electricity here in the Houston area. And so we've been recovering from that for a hot minute. And so we've missed you. I've missed coming on doing lives and doing Wake Up and Airbrush, but I am so excited to come on today and to talk about a few things. One, I want to talk about some of the new releases that we have out. We have some new products that have just dropped. We also have some new foundation and a powder that is amazing. And so I want to talk about prepping the skin and powdering the skin. You know, I'm over 50. And so being over 50, it really just kind of came up as to you powdered no matter what. That was just a part of the process. You had to set the foundation. And, with cream foundations or foundations that don't necessarily have sticking power, all day lasting power, you absolutely did. Because, especially in Houston or any of the southern places where humidity is a thing, things would just slide right off. But I want to talk about like the updated today now formulas. What is the importance of prepping and powdering? How much prep do you need? What kind of prep do you need? And powder or not to powder? That is the question. And if you are going to powder, what kind of powder? I know it sounds very odd to say what kind of powder. Hey, Jeannie, I'm so glad to see you here. Welcome, welcome. Everybody, come on in, say hi, let us know where you're from. I'm so glad to be back. We had the hurricane come through, knocked out power, knocked out internet. Some people still don't have power. And so we're still recovering from the aftermath of the hurricane, like a week and a half later. It's crazy. And I will tell you, I had to readjust my beauty routine, if I even had one, and wasn't working out in the yard, for no power. And no, because I live where the well has to have power. I'm not on city. And so what do you do when you don't have water and you don't have well and you need to apply and you can't clean, you can't wash your face? My Luminess products were perfect for that because they have a makeup remover. So yeah, it was amazing. Oh, you're from Utah. Yes, I remember that. And yes, we are good. But man, what an inconvenience when a hurricane comes through and knocks all of your, I would say, comfortabilities. We want to say that electricity is a necessity, but you'd be surprised how you can live without it once you have to. So it's uncomfortable. Don't get me wrong. Wasn't comfortable, but grateful that we did not have any more damage than we did and that we're doing it. So let's talk about prep in makeup and powdering in makeup. So why do we prep? What is the purpose of prepping before you put foundation on? Some people don't even know what a primer is. They've never used one. They don't know the importance of it. First off, prepping the skin is super important because your foundation will only look as good as your skin does, first and foremost. And secondly, putting a barrier layer between your skin and the foundation is really important, which is why prep is important, because that barrier layer keeps the skin hydrated and keeps things from settling into the larger pores, the thinner skin, the crepiness, fine lines, and wrinkles that we all get as we get older. It's just a fact of life. And hey, I'm grateful for getting older because the alternative is not. And I'm just grateful I get another day on this earth. So, okay, prepping the skin. First and foremost, wash your face, people. Get up in the morning, wash your face. Do you have to do a heavy thing? No, but your skin regenerates at night and pushes the old skin cells forward. And so you want to wash that off and have fresh skin. Moisturize. Your skin needs, even if you have oily skin, your skin needs moisturization. Your skin will actually overproduce oil if you don't moisturize. Okay. So that's just the basics of it. And then we're going to talk about priming. Jeannie, side question. Why did the gold luminizer in the breeze make all my redness disappear? Wow, that's a good question. If I had to guess, it probably neutralized the redness. There's probably a peachier tone in there or a tone in that neutralized that redness. I have not, I'll have to look at the gold luminizer and see, but if I had to guess, it's probably a neutralization that happens, which is a great plus, right? That's what we want. We want that great little neutralization if we can get it. Alrighty, so priming. Primers are important because they put and help with the building of the barrier. So making sure that you prime before you put on foundation is really important as we get older. You prime a couple of different reasons. You need your foundation to last longer. Primer usually helps it set and stick. You have thinner skin, crepier skin, larger pores. It builds that barrier up so that it doesn't set. So think about when you prime a wall. When you put the primer on the wall, it puts a barrier between the wall and the paint so it one goes on smoother and sticks and stays and looks right. Hey, Andrea, so good to see you here. Did we make it out after the hurricane? So I was just telling everybody, I was so blessed. We didn't have any major damage from the hurricane. And I live like on an oak tree grove with 24 like 100-year-old oak trees. So I was a little nervous. This was our first hurricane. I was not sure how they were going to make it or how they were going to stand. I assumed they would do okay because they were so old and they've been through a few hurricanes, but wasn't sure. But electricity and internet in the Houston and surrounding areas has been hard. I'm grateful that I'm back here and we have internet and we have electricity, but some of our people do not. And so you guys keep the prayers and the good thoughts going out to people in this area, because I just spoke to a friend of mine. They had electricity for like 2 days and then it went back out. And now they're still trying to get electricity to come on. And I just can't even imagine. And so keep the prayers coming or whatever it is you like to do, because we sure could use it. This area is still recovering. I do not think it was a Cat 1. I really think once it hit land, it might have been a little stronger than that. But it's neither here nor there. Okay, let's talk prep. The reason we use this is because it makes our skin ready for the foundation you're going to put on. It smooths, it fills, and it hydrates. If you have oily skin, there is also a mattifying primer that you can use that will keep your oil at bay. But remember, even if you have oily skin, you need to use a water-based moisturizer to moisturize your skin. Just because you have oily skin does not mean your skin does not need moisturization. It most definitely needs moisturization. So make sure that as you come on and you are starting to do your skin prep, evaluate your skin, find out, what all does my skin need? Does it need extra building up? Is my foundation sinking too far into my fine lines, my pores, my wrinkles, whatever? Because if so, you might have to use a stronger, more aggressive skin prep, which means you're going to have to build the barrier. And most people don't know that they need barrier layers between their face. So give me 1 second. So you want to make sure, so prep, to get your foundation to look the best that it can look, prep is really important. And guys, if y'all haven't checked out the Prime deals today, check them out. They are out of this world, and you are going to want to do that. So, as I'm sitting here talking about prep and the primer and the foundation. Okay, so we've prepped. Prep is super fast, super easy. It's just something that helps your skin look the best that it can look. And so I'm going to just slap on our Airbrush Spray Foundation. Now, when I did not have any electricity, I absolutely did this because one, I didn't have water to clean my breeze out with, but I did have our makeup remover. If you have not checked out our waterless makeup remover, it is amazing. Not only did it clean my face and leave it looking amazing, it also hydrated and moisturized my face. So you really do want to check out our makeup remover. It is soft and beautiful. And I have learned that if you don't have water, it is the perfect cleaner to help you get clean, moisturized skin in a pinch. So I will be traveling with that for sure, because of course, when you're traveling, you never know what's going to happen. Okay. What has just launched? Now I'm going to go over the fun stuff. New stuff that has just launched. This right here is our new Naked and Naughty palette. Guys, I just need you to look at how beautiful this is. Look at the beauty of that. Look at those colors. Are they not gorgeous? It is now out. It is now launched. It is now ready. You have got eyeliners in there. You have got brighteners in there. You have got matte colors. You have got some with some reflective tones. I mean, it is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So check out all of the pretty colors. They're fabulous. So that's what we're going to use today. The makeup wipes, wait for the oil to melt on your skin for full moisturizer. You know what? I love the makeup wipes. I did not have those though, Jeannie. This is what I had. I actually had the new, I've actually had the new Airbrush spray foundation or primer. And so this is what I actually use, but the wipes, you're right, Jeannie, the wipes would be phenomenal to use if I did not have any of it. I didn't have any here, so, you know. Let me do this. I will tell you this also, that I loved the cloth that came with it. It was great. And so this is one of my favorite combos. But yeah, you totally either need this or you need the makeup removing wipes. Okay, now back to our fabulous palette. Comes with this little brush that is awesome. And it's a double-ended brush, which, by the way, I love double-ended brushes. They make my job so much easier, so much faster, all of the fun stuff. So if you are coming in, come on in, say hello. I am going to take just this neutral, pop it up here, lighten this. I have super dark eyes, like super dark eyes. And so all of that is my natural eye color. And so I don't normally, unless I want it light all over, I don't normally darken up my lid much, because why would I? I already have darker eyes. So I'm going to actually probably come in with this. It's a golden peachy color. And I'm just going to sit that on the lid and pop that up just to add a little reflective tone. I've got my little apricot top on. Maybe we'll just kind of lean into that. Now, if you will have noticed, I did not put anything, I didn't put anything as far as concealer under my eye. Some people do concealers before they actually do their makeup. I do my concealer afterwards, and I do that on purpose because I like to have what we call a cleanup. I like to clean up after for any little things that have fallen underneath my eye. I don't want to look like I still have bags after we're done. And so sometimes that can fall underneath, and I want to just do what I call a cleanup. In these darker colors, I love that they've got these deep tones that I can use as an eyeliner. So I'm actually going to come in and I'm going to use the purple. Believe it or not, I'm going to use the purple around my eyes because my eyes are green. And so I want to let that green just pop out a little bit. So I'm going to use that purple right here in the corner and just pop that in there just to give a little bit of accentuation. Notice I didn't go all the way around. I just did that outer corner. Look how much it accentuates the eye just by doing the outer corner. I didn't have to bring it all the way in. I didn't pull it down on my eye doing a heavy dark line. All I did was an outer corner. So look, guys, you can put eyeshadow, eyeliner, whatever to accentuate your eyes, but you don't have to put it all over, pulling things down, making it heavy and dark. You just got your bottle of liquid velvet veil. Oh, yay. We love some liquid velvet veil. It is great for the skin. And you're right. It does a great job smoothing out the skin and making a great primer. Okay, if you notice, all I did was that outer corner. I didn't pull it all the way over. I didn't go heavy under my eyes. All I did was the outer corner. That's what I use, guys. Look how amazing those colors are. I love, 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 love the colors. I'm gonna use them. I like them. Okay, so let's pop this back in here. To powder. Oh, wait, or not to powder. Before I do that, before we talk about our powder, we have a new powder that has just come out. If you have not seen the new powder, we have a blurring powder, and that is what I'm going to show you today is the blurring powder. So I'm going to pop on and let me put on a little bit of mascara. Let me know if you are in and around or from around here. We would love to say hi. Guys, also, if you are calling in to get help with customer service or anything of that nature, give us a little grace, give us a little patience. Again, here in the Houston area or around, we are still recovering from a hurricane. They are up and running. Everything is going well, but we can't control the phone lines or the internet lines when they decide they need to bleep. So just be patient with us. We appreciate it. Okay. I just needed to get lashes on really quickly because I want to show you how well the powder works. And we want to talk about powdering, when to powder, why you want to powder, and if you really need to powder. Like that's really what it comes down to is, do I need to powder? And that's going to be one, a personal preference thing, and two, depending on your skin. Everything comes down to being personally customized to you. Do you really need it? Okay, so here is why I conceal afterwards. And if you are checking out our concealer, I'm going to show you the concealer real quick. Let me put it up here. All righty. Our Conceal Air Concealer, guys, is very, very pigmented. So when you use a concealer, this pigmented, a little bit goes a long way, okay? And so I want you to just kind of see the dark circles under the eyes, the things that have fallen down. Actually, you can zoom in just a little bit. Don't nobody really need to be this close, but here we go. Just the darkness under the eyes, all of that. Do not swipe the Airbrush Air Concealer under your eyes across. You don't need to. Put it where you strategically need it, right here. because I strategically have darkness in the corner. I'm going to do it right here. And then for me, I'm going to actually do it over here to give me a little lift. Same here, inner corner, under, and then over to the side to give me a little lift. And that's because that's how my eyes are shaped. That's what I need. And you will see that this just really blends away. If I would swipe, it'd be too heavy, too thick. And because that skin is so thin, it's going to creep up and creepy and be too heavy in a heartbeat. But I do this outer corner to kind of give me that mock lift, you know, to lift the eye just a little bit. Anything that has fallen down, it's kind of erased away, plus covered up my dark colors or dark coverage in the eyes. And helped me with that. So if you will notice, now the one thing you do not want to do, okay, hear me. Most people will blend out their concealer to the point that it is completely blended. If you noticed, I used a brush and not a wet beauty blender. The reason I did that is I wanted to spread the concealer across the area. I didn't want to lift it up. A wet beauty blender will thin your formula out and lift it up. So I didn't want to lift it up and I didn't want to thin it out. I wanted it to be spread right across where I needed it spread. And so that is really important to knowing why you use what tools for when. So all I did with this brush was spread it out. And now I'm giving it time to heat up with my skin. So I'm not going to completely blend it away. It's still a little thick in certain areas, but I want to let it heat with my skin, let it do what it does. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to come in, I'm going to pop on just a little bit of contour in the areas that I want it. We're not going heavy with it because our beat your face, erase your face is kind of not the look I'm going for today. I just want a little bit of contour on this neck that has fallen and it can't get up. I'm going to help lift it just a little bit. And then I'm going to slap on some blush. So I'm letting it heat. You'll notice that as it heats, it's getting what I call a little bit liquefied. You can see a little bit of shine underneath my eyes because it is heating with my skin, which means it's changing, it's metamorphosizing, it's chemically reacting with the body chemistry and heat of my skin, which is normal. That's what you want. You want to give it the opportunity to heat up, do what it needs to do, all of the stuff. And that's one of the reasons why at the very end, I buff. I'll come in and I'll just do a quick buff. And this is where I will buff off any excess under the eyes, blending it out that I do not need. I do not want to over buff, do not want to over remove, but I do not want to have extra where I don't need it. I want it to do what it needs to do, staying where it needs to stay. Okay, to powder or not to powder? That is the question. Powdering is very specific to, is your skin oily? Do you need powder? Our foundations, for the most part, you don't need to powder to set, right? They are meant to be able to work without having a set. You have prepped your skin. So you have done the barrier underneath with the primer that will help it stay as much and as long as it can with your skin. And so you don't need to pack it. But if you notice that you're a little shiny under the eyes, you see the little bit of shine underneath there, I'm okay with that in person, but sometimes on camera it doesn't look right. Or maybe you don't like that, or maybe you're oily. When you are picking your powder, you want to make sure it smokes. I know that sounds very odd, but let me show you what I mean. When I take it and I shake it like that, and I take the lid off, you will see dust and smoke come up. That is how you know it is finely ground and it is finely milled enough to use under the eyes. And our new blurring powder is. And so I can take this and place it under the eyes and you'll feel the silkiness, and you'll also see how it does a nice little blurring effect, softening things, not just on camera, because that's what you're seeing me on, but also in person. Because how many of you know that sometimes something can look one way on camera and can look totally different in person? So this really gives you a soft, blurry look without being heavy. Luminous doesn't do heavy. It's always very, very texture friendly, skin friendly, and age friendly. And so I love that they keep that in mind for all of the products. So when do we powder? If you have oily skin, use a blurring powder in the T-zone. If you need to have a cream liner, cream concealer like I used under the eye, and I need that to not have as much reflection, or I need it to not curl up and not roll, and I need to set that cream. Powders are used to set cream. Our Airbrush Spray Foundation isn't a cream, it's a pigment only. But the concealer, when I use the concealer is a cream. And so you can use a powder to set that cream, and you want to make sure that it is a very, very finely milled powder so that it doesn't settle, it doesn't crepe up, and it doesn't impact in that. Why don't you buff after putting on the blurring powder? Good question. Andrea, I would normally do that. But I wanted to buff off the excess of the primer or of the concealer before I set it with the powder. I didn't want to have too much on there because that will cause heaviness and crepiness under the eyes. So after I let that concealer heat with my skin and kind of react with my skin, I wanted to remove any excess that it didn't need and then set it with the powder. Great question, Andrea. You can do it either way. I just chose to do it that way because I felt like that was the best route with the amount of concealer that I could see was a little bit excess that I had on. So good question. And you can buff after the blurring powder if you want to. That's not a problem at all. If you feel like you put too much on, or if you feel like it looks heavy on the skin, go ahead and buff. It's not a problem. I just barely, when I did my blurring powder, I did not dip my brush in this. I actually dipped it in my cap. So I barely used any powder, and I mainly used it underneath my eyes. Great question. Great question. All righty. So that is our conversation about prep and powder. It looks like I have a soft filter on. Exactly, which is why I love the blurring powder. It actually really does the blurring. And if you have a fine milled powder, it'll do that. It's magical. It really is. And it won't settle into fine lines and wrinkles, which is really important as we have thinner skin under the eyes, but maybe we need a little bit more coverage under the eyes, a little bit heavier coverage. Getting that right combo of softness, thinness, so you can get a lot of coverage and it not be heavy. And that's what I love about Luminess's products. The foundation, I can get a lot of coverage, but it's still not heavy. And the concealer, high pigmented, can get a lot of coverage, but it's not necessarily heavy. And so I love that. I love that, love that, love that. All righty, my friends. Is there any more questions? Because I would love, love, love to answer any questions you might have. We're doing a live Q&A. Andrea, thank you so much for asking your question. Jeannie, thank you so much for asking your questions. Love that you are here. Love that you're hanging out with us for Wake Up and Airbrush. If you have any other questions, please ask, and make sure that you go check out the Prime deals. Today is the last day, and they've got some killer Prime deals out there you do not want to miss. You just got yours. You're trying your best not to use too much. Oh, okay. Is it better to spray on your face or on the brush? Portia, if you are using the Airbrush Spray Foundation, always, always, always spray it on the brush. Always do not spray it on your face. when you use the Airbrush Spray Foundation, 2 short sprays on this brush. And I'm going to actually show you, I'm going to show you on my neck. How's that sound? Let me do this. I'm going to pull this back just a little bit. And you can see I have a little bit of redness on my neck. So Portia, just so you know, 2 short sprays. That will do half your face because it is so highly pigmented. 2 short sprays will do half your face. So yes, ma'am, go lightly and make sure that you move the pigment around. Don't stay in one spot trying to quote unquote blend it out. What we are wanting to do is we are wanting to disperse the pigment. Move the pigment all the way. So when you do that 2 short sprays, you're going to disperse it from forehead to cheek to chin, moving that pigment. We're not worrying about blending. It's going to blend with your natural skin tone unless it's just totally the wrong color. And then you come talk to one of the beauty experts and we'll help you out. But 2 short sprays, half your face. Then do 2 more short sprays and disperse it on the other half of your face, okay? And then go into natural lighting, take a look. Say, do I need more coverage? If you need more coverage in a specific spot, 1 more spray and add it to that specific spot. Remember, still moving. We're not trying to just pack it. Don't pack. Move, disperse. Let it be buffed onto the top of your skin. And Portia, one of the things we talked about at the beginning of this was prepping. So make sure you use a primer to help build that coverage or to help build that barrier so that you can get the greatest coverage. Jeannie, group chat and Luminess is so much help. Yes, go over to Luminess Live. We have a group and you can go there and ask your questions, post photos, connect in the chats. You can get so much information. We've got some people, we've got beauty experts available there to answer any questions, but we've also got real Luminess lovers that have been in this for a hot minute, like Jeannie, that gives great help and practical advice from their experience. Move it like you're dusting off furniture. Well, girl, I hate to dust furniture, but you're so right. Yes, move it like you're dusting furniture. I love that. I call it polishing. Let's polish it. Let's polish the face just a little bit. But yeah, dusting furniture works too. That reminds me, I probably should go dust. I haven't done that since the hurricane came through. All righty, friends. Remember, if you need any help whatsoever, we have beauty experts here available to you. They are available on the phone. You can find us on the chats. You can come into the group Luminess Live, and we are there to help with color matches, to help customize your look, to get a look that you can love. You'll find other Luminess lovers there that'll tell you their tips and tricks of what they found out over the years, and really just be there to help you go and create a look you'll love. All righty, friends. If anybody have any more questions before I head out, remember, we're here to help. We're here for you. And one of the greatest beauty tips I have for you is, remember, you guys, beauty starts on the inside and comes out. It is a soul thing. And so be kind to one another. It is the greatest thing you can wear today. We love polishing up and we love having the pretty, but beauty is really something you cultivate inside and out. So be kind to yourself and be kind to one another. And Portia, I am so glad you have had a great experience with us here. That is our goal, and we hope to help and have that with every single one of our customers. Until next time, I'll see you on Wake Up and Airbrush. See you guys